Hey, welcome back to our channel where we bring you the most interesting and shocking topics from around the world. Today we're diving deep into communist China and discussing some bans that will truly shock you. China, a country known for its rich history, cultural heritage, and rapid development, also has a reputation for imposing strict regulations and bans on various aspects of society. So, without further ado, let's get started. Communism in China. Communism in China has been known for its strict rules and centralized control. Over the years, the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, has made a lot of rules and bans that have made people look twice and started conversations both inside and outside of China. Under the cover of communism, the Chinese government has put in place shocking bans that have a big impact on individual freedoms, human rights, and the flow of information. Even though these bans are meant to keep things stable and under control, they often come at the cost of stifling criticism, stopping people from telling different stories, and breaking basic rights. As long as there is tension between the communist philosophy and individual freedoms, people in China and around the world continue to argue about these bans. Communism has had a big impact on how China's government system and social structure are set up. The Chinese Communist Party, CCP, has put in place policies based on Marxist ideas in order to create a society where everyone has the same rights. Communism has left a mark on China's history and growth that will never be erased. The way the CCP has put out communist ideas into practice has changed policies, institutions, and the way ordinary Chinese people live their lives. Even though China has made a lot of success in economic and social development, the legacy of communism still affects political freedoms, personal freedoms, and the goal of making society more diverse. China's future will continue to be shaped by the tension between communist ideals and the needs of a world that is changing quickly. Some Chinese bans that will shock you. Some of the shocking bans that the Chinese government has put into place and what they mean include foreign social media platforms. The first thing on our list is a ban on social media sites from other countries. In 2009, China put in place the Great Firewall, a complex system for censoring the internet that stops people from using famous sites like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Chinese people can't use these platforms easily because they are blocked in their country. Instead, they have their own versions like Weibo and WeChat. This ban has made China's digital world special, with its own social media giants taking over the market. Google services. Google, a company that has become linked with internet search, email, and many other online tools, it is almost non-existent in China. Google stopped filtering search results in the country in 2010, which caused its services to be blocked. Since then, people in China have used Chinese search engines like Baidu and Sogu. It is interesting to see how China has built its own tech environment separate from the big companies around the world. Time travel and television and movies. In 2011, the Chinese government banned TV shows and movies that took place in the past. The goal of this ban was to protect China's rich cultural history and keep people from misrepresenting what happened in the past. Outsiders might think it's a strange ban, but it shows that the government wants to keep control over the stories told in media and entertainment. Release of new video games. Here's a rule that affects the game business. In 2018, China said that it would stop putting out new video games. The goal of this move was to address worries about young people getting hooked on video games. The Chinese government was worried that too much gaming was bad for the physical and mental health of the country's young people. So, creators had to go through a tough approval process before they could put their games on the Chinese market. This slowed the industry down a lot. Religious practices. China's communist government has put a lot of limits on religion practices, especially for Uyghur Muslims and Tibetan Buddhists, who are members of minority groups. Mosques and temples have been torn down. Religious gatherings have been watched, and people who practice their religion outside of state-approved organizations have been persecuted. Reports say that the government has made it illegal to wear Islamic clothes, to fast during Ramadan, and even to teach children about the Quran. These restrictions on religious freedom have made people around the world worried and led to claims that human rights are being broken. Winnie the Pooh. Since 2017, China has stopped letting people talk about the cute, honey-loving bear. Some people on the internet made jokes about how Chinese President Xi Jinping was like Winnie the Pooh. Fearing that this comparison would hurt the president's authority, the Chinese government got rid of all references to the bear on the internet and even stopped the movie Christopher Robin from coming out in China. Celebrity gossip. In 2017, the Chinese government took action against celebrity culture by putting out rules that said too much news of celebrities, rumors, and scandals was not allowed. This ban was part of an ongoing effort to curb the influence of celebrity culture and emphasize traditional values. It was also meant to get people to focus more on important things like social problems and national successes. So, next time you go to China, don't expect to find gossip magazines full of stories about famous people on every store. foreign television shows. In 2016, the Chinese government reduced the number of foreign TV shows that could be shown between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m., which is when most people watch TV. The goal of this move was to support Chinese shows and protect the Chinese TV industry from the competition from other countries. Even though some international shows still air outside of these times, this ban has made it much harder for Chinese people to watch foreign material. And there you have it, folks. These are just a few examples of the many bans that exist in communist China. Whether it's the restrictions on foreign social media platforms, the ban on Google services, or the unexpected ban on time travel in media, China's regulatory landscape is truly unique and can often be surprising to outsiders. Thank you all for joining us today as we explored the surprising bans in communist China. It's important to be aware of these restrictions as they shed light on the challenges faced by the Chinese population in terms of accessing information, expressing themselves, and enjoying certain forms of entertainment. Remember to stay informed and continue engaging in conversations about these issues. Knowledge is power, and by sharing and discussing these topics, we can work towards a more open and inclusive world. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content. And as always, feel free to leave your comments and suggestions below. Until next time, stay curious and keep seeking the truth.